Alright, what's up guys? So, I'm going to be once again trying to get caught up with Hot Teas videos. This video being titled, I watched Trisha Paytas on Trash Tuesday podcast so you don't have to. July. It's uploaded 3 months ago, my guy. I'm very, very behind. Alright, let's just go ahead and get into this because I'm going to try to work on that and stuff. But yeah, guys, make sure you go subscribe to my good friend Ray. This is her main channel, Hot Teas. Then she has her personal channel, Ray Rahimi. And then a business channel called Build Your Pocket. Make sure you subscribe to all three of those channels. And then that being said, let's get into this video. See what happened 3 months ago. I don't know why. I don't even know how I got so behind. That's the crazy thing about it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Trisha Paytas' guest appearance on the Trash Tuesday podcast and what she still has to say regarding the frenemies breakup, as well as shedding light on some garbage human beings. But before we get into it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and turn your post notifications on. Alright, let's get into it. Trisha appeared on the Trash Tuesday podcast, formerly known as Bloodbath, which is funny because her episode is the first one to actually live up to that name, mainly because the majority of viewers were not happy to see her. Some unhappy comments include, "Sucks that you would platform this dumpster fire." So he decided to ruin a good show with the very first guest. And my favorite, no. So they begin the podcast talking about past and present relationships, which of course led to some more steamy topics. Let's be honest, it wouldn't be a Trisha podcast if it didn't discuss sex in some way.
I don't have any sensitivity. You could like squeeze that. I mean, we still like do like twice a day, but like when we first met, it's like really fun because we're trying to have a baby, so we're trying to like push all the like semen down. And I love like when guys just stick it in like while I'm sleeping. Like we used to do it all the time, like in the middle of the night. I'm like, just stick it in. He has my legs like this, and it's just like jackhammer like that, but my head's upside down, so it's like a rush.
Trish also shares her dismay of not being able to flash people.
Fam, time out. That is a thing? Oh my god, like, no. Look, I'm gonna just say this, like, for any, like, okay, if you're a woman and you like that stuff, okay, tell, people that and things, but to the guys out there, do not assume that all women like that. No, okay? If you're going to listen to a woman, listen to Michelle Obama, but do not listen to Trisha Paytas when talking about, like, satisfying women. And no, okay? Like, that is some crazy stuff, man. That just, wow. Like, that's not normal. That is not normal.
I love flashing people too, but like now it's like you can't do that. Like I was flashing people and they're like, no, you can't do that anymore. I was like, really?
What a shame. Then they move on to the topic of why Trisha doesn't have a dog.
Why don't you have a dog?
I did have a dog.
Yeah.
Freaking my ex gave it to me for a vlog. He's like, here's a dog, and I've never owned a dog in my life, and I lived in a little apartment, and I was like, what? How? I didn't know how to take care of him.
Trisha was gifted a puppy named Mukbang by her ex, Jason Nash.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the podcast, she makes it seem as if she didn't want one, and that Jason did it just for the video, when actually, she was the one who was asking for one.
We had talked about it for a while, that I wanted a Pomeranian.
Which is funny, because literally 24 hours after getting Mukbang, she immediately handed him off to her mom and sister, who now completely take care of him and his new little brother, Miko. Sidetrack, is it Mukbang or Mukbang? Like, I just hear it both ways, and I don't know. Someone laughed at me for saying Mukbang in another video. As opposed to the clickbait title, we got a new puppy. Miko belongs to her sister, Callie. Honestly, thank God, because Trisha just doesn't seem to have the best track record when it comes to dogs. Topics then turn to the transracial influencer Ollie London, who recently underwent plastic surgery in order to look and present as Korean. While they discuss whether this is socially acceptable or not, Trisha claims to relate to him because of the hate she gets for her obsession with Jewish culture.
It's so interesting because I feel like I'm kind of...
Okay, it's like, having the obsession with it, that's fine. I don't mind that. But it's just, I don't get how can one do that? Like, I know that there's like, people out there like switching genders and stuff, but I just feel like being, like you switching to a completely different race, like because you love their culture. It's like, fam, you can be who you are and love their culture. I just didn't get that. When that stuff was going down, I didn't get it. And do I support it? It's that man's money. Whatever he wants to do, he can do it. I have no say so in what that man wants to do. But I'm just saying, me personally, I would never be, I'm gonna get surgery so I can be white or Korean or Hispanic. My thing is I love Hispanic people. You don't see me I want to go and pay thousands of dollars to get surgery to become Hispanic. It wouldn't make sense. I'm sorry. Maybe there's a way of it being explained, but I can't get it. I can't get with it.
I kind of get the same hate as this. I mean, whenever I do try and speak Hebrew, or if I wear a high or start it, people get this.
Ethan often confronted Trisha about fetishizing Jewish people.
I'm promoting this culture.
Yeah, but you're kind of this is kind of cultural appropriation, isn't it? This whole obsession and fetishization makes me a little uncomfortable.
It's not fetishizing, it's a preference.
And there also have been multiple lengthy videos calling Trisha out for being anti-Semitic. Also, we can't forget this screenshot she tweeted trying to get people on her side of a financial argument with Ethan, which obviously completely backfired. Despite all of this, she discusses how she is converting to Judaism. She discusses how she's converting to Why can't I say that word?
Cool,
she discusses how she's converting to Judaism and is even planning on having her own bar mitzvah.
Because I'm having a bat mitzvah, so yeah.
Can I come?
Wow.
Wait, can we come
Awesome.
to that? Yeah, you guys should come. I'm so excited about it.
Wow.
Which I think she's a few years late to, but okay. Finally, we get to the frenemies portion of the podcast, which starts out with one of the hosts, Esther, asking how things are between Trisha and her sister-in-law, Hila.
I have a question. What's happening with you and Hila?
Trisha claims they haven't really talked, but are apparently fine despite everything that's happened.
Yeah, no, I've always been fine with her, actually. She's always been really nice. I have no issues with Hila. Totally over it now. I mean, I don't know, but...
Have you guys talked?
No, we're
Really?
yeah.
I honestly have a theory that Trisha really doesn't like Hila and is extremely jealous of her for a lot of reasons.
Either that or Hila, she just doesn't want to be bothered with her. That's the thing. I always preach on accepting those around you, but I'm when the person just comes off as being toxic, I just, I don't know. Maybe if I seen that they were changing, then cool. But if not, I'm look, you could be in your area in life. I'm gonna be in my area in life. We could just be in our own separate circles and not throw things or say things. I'm okay, cool. But yeah, I personally think that Hila, she just don't want to be bothered with her. And I'm which in a way I can see why.
But mainly because she sets healthy boundaries and sticks to them, while Trisha, on the other hand, breaks every boundary anyone ever makes for her. One of her and Ethan's big blow-up fights had to do with Hila not wanting to be mentioned in family drama that they talked about online, and Trisha got so pissed about that.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
I believe that's when she called her a I think. I don't know. So I'm not 100% sure if I buy them being completely fine, but I could be wrong. Then they discuss if frenemies can be salvaged and if Trisha regrets doubling down on her many response videos.
But when I sleep on something, I'm oh no, what did I do? I felt that's where the doubling down then came in.
She reiterates that she meant everything she said in the moment, but then after cooling down, she was ready to come back the next day.
I was pissed after our argument, but then literally an hour later, he's hey, we paid $5,000 for this rage room tomorrow. Do you want to do it? I'm obviously, yes. So I was down to film the next day. It was going to be fine. And then he texted and was the crew is really mad.
Her feelings changed after Ethan confronted her about her issues with the crew. She claims it all snowballed from there, and with all the back and forth videos, that things are beyond repair.
I feel it's just too far gone.
This I agree with her. Yet also claims that she was respectful with it all, so contradictory.
Yeah.
I felt, in my opinion, that I was being respectful.
She also touches on her mental illness, claiming that she was on a new medication going into frenemies and that they may have had something to do with her handling of the situation.
I got put on the medication at the end of May, and this was June 8th. So I think during the transition time, it takes 4 to 6 weeks for medication to. I probably shouldn't have been on the podcast because I think it was just I felt like you were saying, I felt like I was trying to disengage because that's for me, I just get angrier and angrier, which is not good.
While on the topic of mental illness, she then discusses her experience and struggles with schizophrenia. She describes seeing shapes and even hearing voices disguised as her family members persuading her to jump off her balcony. Then they
wow.
redirect back to discussing frenemies, asking her on a
that's
scale
not
of 1 to
good.
10 how ready she is to come back to the show. She states that after hearing Ethan's parents comment about her on the New Families podcast, she is not so sure.
0 being it absolutely over, and 10 being fully back on. The family's happy. We're doing it. Where are you today?
I think if you asked me this like yesterday, I would have said like 10. I'm ready to come back. But today it's a 0.5 because after he's like the family hates Trish, I was like, this motherfucker. Like I was like, that is not true. So I think that really set me back.
Random side notes, one of the hosts' boyfriend, Bobby, comes in basically
That's
naked at
that
one
guy.
point, and it just really caught me off guard. He
Yeah,
shows
that
off
guy.
his manscaping. Also, they apparently share underwear, so romantic, I guess.
That guy, he's known for, I mean, if he is dating one of them, okay, but if not, then I'm like, yeah, that guy, he's known for doing some, like, weird and random stuff. So, once I seen his face and knew who, I was like, oh, that guy, yeah, it's Bobby something, I can't think of his whole name, but, yeah, that guy, he does that. That's just his thing. He does random things at times, so.
Anyway, they end off the podcast discussing Trisha's new Sad Boy 2005 store that she is just opening for fun, I guess.
And then we have like a store opening in November.
Where?
That's just me spending money. It's literally not going to make any money. I'm just like wanting to have my own store.
To have endless disposable income. Alright, so moving on from that, it appears that Def Noodles' Twitter account is suspended. Apparently
I heard
his account
about
got
that.
reported for fake news. Keemstar
Yeah.
states that he has made 8 false stories on him and at least 50 other YouTubers. Specifically, someone in Germany reported his account. He spoke out on his second account after the suspension saying, "So Def Noodles just got suspended. It's unclear why it got suspended. I didn't have any posts removed. No copyright violations, no warnings. I've been getting a lot of emails from Twitter though telling me people have been reporting my account. I'm working on getting it back." We'll see if he gets it back. Also, I had no idea his name was Dennis. Now, let's get into some serious topics, and just a disclaimer, guys, we'll be discussing some triggering topics such as SA, mental illness, and abuse. Starting with Drake Bell, as you guys probably know, Drake was accused of SA of a minor. The victim delivered a powerful but also disturbing testimony. The trial was held virtually, and Drake can be seen on screen sporting some very odd facial expressions and is even smirking at times. The victim even directly addresses him several times to keep his facial expression in line.
He also asked me, quote, "How old are you now?" I told him 15. He then told me to, quote, "Hurry up, don't smile at me." The reason that these particular incidents did not result any further than oral sex was because the defendant knew that I was menstruating at the time. Had I not been menstruating then, he would have raped me. Don't look at me like that.
Drake follows up her testimony by admitting to harmful misconduct and offering a weak apology.
I'm sorry that the victim was harmed in any way, but that was obviously not my intention. I have taken this matter very, very seriously. Again, I just want to apologize to her and anyone else who may have been affected by my actions.
He is unfortunately only receiving a 2-year probation.
He
That's
committed
crazy.
these crimes against me with pride. A defendant who clearly feels no remorse for his crimes deserves to be given a...
Yeah, I kind of stopped. Like, I gave up on Drake and Josh. Like, when Drake, he announced on, I think it was Twitter, that he pretty much was on the same thing that the Korean man was on. That he was gonna just start speaking Spanish, and I think I did go to one of his social media accounts, and he was. I'm like, bro, I mean, if he is like Hispanic or he has like some sort of like Hispanic background, okay, cool. But if not, like, fam, you like he did one of those like them like ancestry test things and seen that he had like 2% of Mexican in him, and it was just like, oh my god. He's just like, oh my god, like I am Hispanic, like this is amazing. He was like, I can speak Spanish now, like just came from nowhere. But anyways, yeah, Drake, that man, dang. It's like, it's people just, they have like routes that they can go down where it's like, you can either be a good person or a bad person. It's like, why be a bad person? Why do the things you do? Like, fam, whether you, it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me, but
maximum
anyways.
sentence possible. I will never forget what he did to me. I idolized and looked up to him, and he took that and broke it in the most sickening way possible. He is the epitome.
So you, as any sort of like high-figured person, you should never do that to your fans, because I'm like, look, your fans follow you for a reason. They follow you because you've, have like helped them in life somehow, whether it's laughing or whether it's your music or whether it's YouTube videos or whatever you're doing. It's like, you should never take advantage of your fans.
Evil. I deserved better than to be used for his sick desires and for my suffering to be used for his amusement. Jared Drake Bell is a pedophile, and that is his legacy.
She called him by his full name.
Thank you.
I was wondering why it was saying Jared Bell. Dang, that's his, dang. It's like Jared and Josh. It could have been called that. I don't know. Drake does sound a little bit better when you think about it and things, but yeah.
Next
2
up
years
is Anna
probation ain't
Campbell.
good.
I covered Anna in a recent video, as well as Taylor, Natalia, and Kaylee's survivor stories. There is a new message from Natalia reminding everyone that just because Anna is a woman doesn't mean that she isn't capable of abuse.
Just in case there is anyone that still does not believe Anna Campbell is an abuser simply because she is a woman, let me remind you who we are dealing with. Wake
Dang.
the F up.
I know. In my temple. Yeah, I know. Why do you think I'm so freaked out? I have to.
Wow.
I have to. What are you doing? Stop breaking things. Please stop. Please. Please stop. Stop! You punched a hole in your new wall?
Lastly is Hunter Echo, Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown's ex-boyfriend. Hunter decided to go on an allegedly drunken Instagram live and disclose grossly inappropriate details about the relationship that he had with Millie. It's even more disturbing because at the time that they were dating, he was 20 and Millie was just 16.
That's what I'm saying. I was just like, that dude does not look. My thing is this. I was about to say, I was like, I've seen some high schoolers where they look like, older and stuff, and I'm like, fam, he don't look like no high schooler. That's why I'm like, what? And dang, that's crazy, man.
A grown adult and dating a kid. Groomer. I know, I groomed her.
He has since apologized for his actions.
I wanted to address the live stream incident that happened. It should have never happened in the first place. That was a stupid idea on my part to think it was gonna be okay to just continue to go live as it was getting more and more negative in the comments. I probably live streamed for about 2 to 3 hours, and in those 2 to 3 hours I was getting more and more drunk. After I kept seeing how negative the comments were and seeing or hearing or seeing whatever people were saying to me when they don't know about anything like ever, it was getting me more and more irritated, like I said, and in the alcohol, so then I became more careless and I said stuff that should have never been said. But like my natural instinct when I see people doing that kind of stuff, or when I see what people were saying, is like, I'm like, okay, so let's make it like way worse and let's antagonize, which is so stupid, but that's how I decided to handle it. I'm also seeing a lot of clips all over the internet of like certain parts of it because people are trying to make it 10 times worse. There's already stories that are completely not correct, were never said. It's all being fabricated because that's what happens apparently. But like you guys, half of it, you guys are spreading stuff that's not true. It's like a little rumor about something, and then it gets spread, and then now it's just like true. The live stream, I am sorry for. I'm not proud of at all how I spoke. It sounded very immature. It looked horrible on my family. It looked horrible on me. It looked horrible on my friends. I have nothing to apologize for, so make that clear. I should have ended it. I just want you to know that I'm not okay with what I said.
Everything that I did was completely legal, and it was approved by everybody that I was with.
I'm not trying to justify that. I just want you guys to know that I'm not okay with how I went about stuff.
Groomer. I know, I groomed her.
Honestly, he's just so gross. I don't think he's actually sorry at all, but is more so upset.
That's all. No, because I was talking about that. It's like when people start facing like hate and backlash and stuff, then that's when they start. Because I'm like, if he would have never been facing anything or nothing would have been posted, he would have never apologized for this. So I'm like, yeah, people do that when they think that their career is gonna go downhill and stuff. So they're like, oh, let me come out with an apology video. Because it was just recently out. No, that was the whole reason why I was even talking about it. Was because, there was this YouTuber, he came out and was, like, being racist to people, I guess, and he did this whole video where he was crying and all that stuff, and I'm like, fam, like, that's how you feel. Like, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. You think, oh, by posting a crying video, that's going to change. They're like, oh, well, he's crying. Like, people are still going to feel a certain way about you. So that's why I just think, like, when they do things like that, it's like, look, like, it seemed like he did kind of own up to it, but still, you shouldn't have been in a situation like that in the first place. If you are dating some, like, no, you were dating somebody that's freaking 16 years old. You're in your 20s. Like, I don't care if you're in your early 20s, like, or you turning 20 the next day, like, bruh, you know, that is just no. It's just one big no. Like, you should not be in your 20s dating somebody that's 16 years old. That's what I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people be taking advantage of, like, you know, whoever it is. Like, bruh, come on, man. Like, you better than that.
Upset at the understandable amount of backlash that he's been receiving. Millie's reps have spoken out saying, instead of engaging in a public discourse with him through the press or on social media, we are taking action to ensure that he stops this behavior once and for all. And now let's end things on a lighter note with some
AA classes, like
TikToks
alcohol,
of Trisha
something.
cosplaying as Gerard while filming her new music video. Enjoy!
If I seen that, I'd been so scared. Like, this is what D-Day really was. Oh my god. Imagine like freaking them making, what's like an old war movie? Like Dunkirk, didn't that take place? I never seen that movie. I don't know if that did take place in World War II. What about, was it Hacksaw Ridge? I don't know. But just, or freaking one of Quentin Tarantino's movies, or just something. But it's like, imagine the war movie and Trisha Paytas is like, I wouldn't watch that movie. I've been laughing throughout that whole movie. Like, Trisha Paytas is like, you see her in a war movie, that's like seeing, like, a friend of yours out in public. You're just gonna, especially it's like one of those, like, comical friends, like, you're just gonna laugh, man. I can't take this serious. This is just, wow. There's a World War II veteran just looking like... That man's so happy in the back. He's all like, I'm a war hero. He's like, look at me. I'm sitting there shooting an imaginary rifle.
And that was it for today's video.
Trisha Paytas is like leading us to war. It's like, yeah, this ain't gonna be America anymore. I'm just saying.
Guys,
so
thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I post new videos every single day. Bye.
Yeah, I'm like, that's I don't know about that. That's just, yeah. You know, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, guys, make sure if you haven't, go subscribe to Ray's channel for more videos like this. Subscribe to her main channel, Hot Tea, personal channel, Ray Rahimi, business channel, Build Your Pocket. Like, subscribe to me too, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Oh, and follow her on social media, Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.